All right, today we're going to dive into the incredible biology of breastfeeding. We're going to break down how your body and your baby are designed to work together so you can feel totally confident in this amazing partnership. Let's jump right in.
So here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with the simple science behind how your body actually makes milk. Then we'll get into the practical stuff, mastering that perfect latch. We'll talk about keeping the milk flowing, how to handle some common bumps in the road, and, this is a big one, how to know exactly when it's time to ask for a little help.
Okay, first up, the supply and demand system. At the very heart of breastfeeding is this simple but honestly powerful biological system. It's not magic, not at all. It's just a brilliant feedback loop that connects you and your baby.
The easiest way to think about it, it's like a restaurant, right? When a breast is empty, it's like sending an empty plate back to the kitchen. It's a clear order. Hey, make more food and make it fast. But a full breast, well, that's like a full plate just sitting on the counter. It tells the kitchen, whoa, slow down, we're good for now. It's that simple. The more milk that's removed, the stronger the signal to make more.
So what's the secret switch here? What's controlling this whole system? It's actually a tiny protein in your milk called the feedback inhibitor of lactation. Yeah, let's just call it FIL. Think of FIL as the brake pedal for milk production. When milk hangs out in the breast for a while, the FIL levels rise, and that pushes the brakes, telling your body to slow down. But when you empty the breast often, those FIL levels stay low, and that keeps the green light on for making more milk.
And that right there, that is why those first few weeks are so critical. By nursing often and keeping those FIL levels down, you're basically programming your body. You're teaching it exactly how much milk your baby needs. You're not just feeding your baby for today, you're literally setting the foundation, the baseline for your entire milk supply for all the months to come.
Okay, so now we get why emptying the breast is so important for your supply. But what about the how? How does your baby effectively place that order for more milk and keep those FIL levels nice and low? Well, it all comes down to one absolutely crucial skill: mastering the latch.
So how do we get there? It's kind of like a three-step dance. First, it's all about position. You want to line your baby up so their nose is opposite your nipple and let their chin rest on your breast. Step 2, wait for that big, wide yawn mouth. You can even encourage it by gently tickling their top lip. Then step 3, when that mouth is wide open, bring your baby to the breast. You lead with their chin, aiming your nipple up toward the roof of their mouth, not straight back.
And how do you know you've nailed it? Well, the number one sign is that it feels comfortable for you. A deep latch should not hurt. You'll feel a strong pulling or a tug for sure, but not a sharp, pinching pain. Look at your baby. Their mouth should be wide open, their bottom lip should be flipped out, and their chin should be pressed right into your breast. A classic sign of a good deep latch is seeing a little more of your areola above their top lip than below it.
Now, on the flip side, let's talk about the red flags for a shallow latch. That sharp, pinching pain, that's your body yelling that something isn't right. If you hear little clicking noises while they're sucking, that means they're losing suction. And a really telltale sign is what your nipple looks like after a feed. If it comes out flattened, creased, or shaped like a brand new tube of lipstick, that's a sign the latch was way too shallow. And this is a big deal because a shallow latch doesn't just hurt you, it means your baby isn't getting the milk out efficiently, which messes with that all-important make more milk signal.
All right, so once you've got that great latch down, the next piece of the puzzle is all about rhythm and frequency. We're talking about responsive feeding here, just tuning into your baby's cues to keep that supply and demand system humming along perfectly.
Okay, let's be real. In those first few weeks, you are going to be feeding your baby a lot, like somewhere around 10 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. And I know that sounds like an insane number, but remember, their stomachs are super tiny and breast milk digests really fast. The real key here is to watch your baby, not the clock. Look for those early hunger cues, rooting around, bringing their hands to their mouth, making little smacking noises. The goal is to catch them and feed them before they get to the crying stage.
Now, I can hear you thinking 10 to 12 times, but what about sleep? I get it, but those middle-of-the-night feeds, they are absolutely non-negotiably crucial for building and maintaining your milk supply. So what's the big deal about them?
Well, the answer is all about hormones. Here's this one hormone, prolactin, and it's basically the star player in making milk. And here's the thing, its levels aren't steady all day long. They naturally spike like way up during the night, usually between about 1 and 5 in the morning. So when you nurse during that window, you're cashing in on your body's peak production time. And that sends a super powerful signal to keep your overall 24-hour supply cranked up.
Of course, this whole journey isn't always a perfectly straight line, right? There are definitely going to be moments of fussiness or frustration.
It happens. But the key thing to remember is that these are totally common, totally manageable challenges. The real goal is just to stay as calm and connected with your baby as you can while you work through them.
So let's look at a few common scenarios and a simple first step. Let's say your baby suddenly refuses the breast out of nowhere. We call that a nursing strike. First thing, don't panic. Just take a break and cuddle them skin to skin. What if a latch is painful? Please don't just power through it. Gently slide your pinky finger into the corner of their mouth to break the suction, and then try to latch again. And if your baby is just being really fussy at the breast, sometimes all it takes is trying a totally different feeding position.
And seriously, when in doubt, just remember that skin-to-skin contact is your superpower. It truly is the ultimate reset button. That simple warmth and closeness calms both your nervous system and your baby's. It helps trigger all their natural feeding instincts, and it even gives your own milk-making hormones a nice little boost.
Okay, let's talk about bottles for a second. Sometimes, a baby who's had a bottle might seem to start preferring it. You've probably heard this called nipple confusion, but really, it's more about flow preference. Think about it. Breastfeeding is active work for a baby. They have to use their jaw and tongue to really draw the milk out, and the flow changes. A bottle, it's easy street. It delivers a constant, steady flow with almost no effort. Babies are smart. They're not confused. They just figured out which one is less work.
I really want to emphasize this next part. You are not meant to figure all of this out alone. Knowing when it's time to call in some skilled professional help is one of the most important things you can do. It's all about being a great advocate for yourself and for your baby.
So let's be crystal clear about this. Reaching out to a lactation consultant is not, I repeat, not a sign of failure. It is a sign of incredible strength. It means you're taking powerful, proactive steps to protect your health, your baby's well-being, and this entire feeding relationship.
And here are some of the big, non-negotiable signs that it's time to make that call. If you are having consistent pain while nursing, that is not normal. If your nipples are cracked or bleeding, that needs help. If you have any concerns about your baby's weight gain or how many wet or dirty diapers they're having, get an expert opinion. And finally, if you develop a fever or see red streaks on your breast, that could be a sign of mastitis and you need to see someone right away.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. If you take away nothing else from our chat today, let it be these 5 things. 1. Trust that supply and demand system. Your body knows what it's doing. 2. A deep, comfortable latch is everything. 3. Feed your baby often, especially at night. 4. Use skin to skin as your go-to move to calm down and reconnect. And number 5, never, ever, ever hesitate to ask for skilled help.
Just remember, you and your baby are a team. You are literally designed to do this together. So I'll leave you with this thought. What is one small step you can take today, right now, to build your confidence in this amazing partnership? Thanks so much for joining me.